Well, long time no speak. I think my last video was just after Christmas and we are now in April. So yesterday was actually my 27th birthday and it was Easter weekend, bank holiday weekend, and it was just the most perfect spring weather. And it was just gorgeous sunshine and the wind had dropped because there's a storm going on at the minute across the UK, and it was just perfect weather. Like, it couldn't have been more perfect for a bank holiday. So I'm sure everyone has gone back to work today chuffed that they actually got to enjoy some sunshine and enjoy a bank holiday weekend much better and very unlike UK tradition. So so that's where we are in the timeline of things. A lot has happened since Christmas, and I thought I would just sit down and have a little bit of a catch up of where we are in the world, what's happening in my life, and sort of get back into the swing of vlogging and creating videos and whatnot. So I've had a really lovely break from YouTube, obviously. My life has been quite busy and I've not really had the time or the inspiration to sit down and create anything, but I'm still very active and present on Instagram, so that's always the best place to see sort of regular updates and a lot more content posted from myself. So my Instagram, I'll put that on the screen, but it is just my username, like, you know, very simple and easy to find me. So yes, let's update. So obviously Christmas, what I got for Christmas was my last video, and from then we are to April. So in March I worked up to the last week of February, and then I had 2 weeks annual leave, and then I was on maternity leave from like the 2nd or 3rd week of March. And by this point, start of March, I was about 37 weeks pregnant when I went on annual leave. So I worked right up until that point, and that was not a problem at all. Like, I was not really very I wasn't like heavily pregnant, if you like. I'll insert a picture of myself here so you can see how unassuming my bump looked that far along. So yes, it really wasn't very obvious that I was that far along in my pregnancy, but I definitely like ballooned in the last sort of week or two. My stomach just went like, well, it was always quite solid, but it just really like filled out and became really like prominent then, which is quite funny. But up until that point, I'd literally had the most fantastic pregnancy. It was a dream. The only thing that I really struggled with was the reflux at night and trying to sleep. You know, wherever I laid, no matter if I sat up, lay down, whatever, I just could not get my reflux to settle. So I was literally guzzling Gaviscon like it was going out of fashion. But that did do the job, that did give me relief. So really, it wasn't that bad. But yes, so we got to 40 weeks at, yeah, about 3rd week of March, and baby had not arrived. And then by the, like, basically the end of the 3rd week of March, I had a baby boy. So he was born on the 18th of March, and I had the most fantastic birth, delivery, hospital experience. The only thing that let it down was how long it took for us to get discharged. So I did actually end up getting anemia, or I had anemia like straight after I'd given birth, basically, but they didn't sort of like diagnose me with it until we were about to sort of be discharged. And being on the ward was just so slow and a bit of a nightmare, so we didn't actually get discharged until like midnight Friday morning. So I'd given birth to my son on Wednesday, and then yeah, we didn't get discharged until the early hours of the Friday morning. So that was a bit disappointing, but at the end of the day they did look after me really well, and obviously they made really good precautions to make sure that I was well and that I was going to be okay to leave the hospital, because I was so weak and pale and like, you know, I mean, I had the most lucky or fortunate or whatever you want to call it actual delivery, in the way that I didn't have like any issues, you know, I didn't have any like intervention in the way that I needed cutting or stitching or anything like that, or, you know, forceps or anything like that. It was a really natural, spontaneous delivery, and I got away with, you know, needing nothing. The only thing that I did have was the anemia. So, and I wasn't surprised, because I'm pretty sure I'm probably borderline slightly anemic beforehand anyway. So I'd been taking like an iron supplement for a good year anyway. So I think, you know, it was going to happen, to be honest. So that was, you know, that was good. They looked after me. They made sure that I'd left with iron sulfate and a plan to then go and see my GP at a later date, and the baby was fine and we could leave, etc. So it was a really good experience. It was just a little bit more on the prolonged side, but then we got home and we've ever since then. So Teddy, our son, he is actually 3 weeks old tomorrow, and we have had the most amazing 3 weeks with him. He's such a good little baby. We really couldn't ask for more. Like, he is just absolutely perfect. He's such a good boy. Like, he really doesn't take a lot of comforting. He's really happy, and he's really good at, like, we're getting quite good at picking up his signals now when he wants certain things, and we're just getting to know each other, and it's just been a really wonderful journey so far. So he is now in the world. I'm no longer pregnant. I'm nice and flat and yes, I'm not heavy, and I can sleep now, and my reflux just went straight away after that, which was just amazing. I've always had reflux, so I know, like, I'll set myself off if I eat the wrong thing or go to bed too soon after I've had my evening meal. But in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm not like constantly got my throat on fire, so that's wonderful. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're up to. So as I say, he's now 3 weeks old tomorrow, and yesterday was my birthday, so we are getting out of the house a lot more. So this time of year, Daniel, my fiance, he works on a farm, an arable farm, and they grow potatoes. So this time of year is their planting season. Beforehand he would have been on the destoner, but this year and last year he was planting. So he's planting potatoes at the minute. So we timed it in the way that best we could. I mean, we were so lucky that you might hear him squeaking in the background, and I think I'm gonna have to change my battery shortly. But yeah, we timed it that we were gonna have Teddy just right with the way that planting fell. So I had Daniel with me for a couple of weeks before he then started his sort of busy season. So that's worked really well. So we were really fortunate to have Daniel at home for 2 whole weeks, which is such a rarity. If you work in farming or you know someone in farming, you know that that is literally such a rarity. So we were really lucky to have him at home, and he actually had a lot of the Easter weekend off. So he had Sunday and Monday off, which was fantastic. So both days we went out for a walk because the weather has been so good. So Sunday we went to my parents for like an Easter roast / my birthday meal, because obviously we've got a little newborn. We didn't really want to go out for a meal, and places are just so busy and expensive these days, and especially on a like Easter weekend, bank holiday weekend, like it was just going to be so busy. So we had a lovely roast at my parents'. So we walked down there because they literally live like 5 minutes down the road. And then yesterday we went for a really lovely walk around Blickling Hall Estate, around their park grounds. And and it was just divine. Like, I think we were out for about 3.5 miles, which took us a couple of hours. We just went for a really lovely long slow stroll because we had the pushchair and the track was a little bit rough, and Teddy just slept through the whole thing. But it was lovely to get a bit of sunshine to us all and a bit of fresh air. So that was really, really lovely. So yeah, and then today is Tuesday. Daniel's back to work today, and now this is my life. So I'm at home looking after Teddy, being a mother, a full-time mother, which is just crazy. I think it still hasn't really sunk in because of how quick and easy my pregnancy was. Like, it just flew by and I didn't have any issues, and how, like, I would say relatively quick and easy my birth was. Sorry if the angles just changed, I just had to change the battery. But yes, as I was saying, that because everything was so smooth sailing and so easy, that I don't think it's really sunk in, because it's just over in a flash, and here we are with a baby, and it's crazy to think that I created him, I carried him, I gave birth to him. Like, honestly, the birth now, it's so hard to remember. Like, I can picture it, pieces, bits and pieces. The physical, like, birth, I can remember like it was yesterday, like in my head, like the image of that being handed him, and it was just incredible. But the lead up to it and the actual, like, contractions and the discomfort that I was in, I cannot remember it now. And now I totally get why people keep going back and having more children, because you literally do forget. Like, it's just so clever how your brain works, and yeah, just amazing. So yeah, just, I find it all so fascinating. I loved the whole thing because it just fascinated me. So yeah, it's been really amazing. It's been a whirlwind of the best kind, and now we have a little son as a result of it, which is just so exciting. We knew we were having a boy anyway, but it's just crazy. It's so exciting. So yeah, we've had a really lovely weekend. We've taken him on some lovely walks and really got to enjoy the sunshine. And it's still a beautiful day today. I think we're going to be blessed with some more lovely weather this week. Blue skies and sunshine, so we'll be out in the garden. I'm hoping to really get back into my gardening this year, because I loved creating, like, my little gardening video updates for you and spending time in the garden. Obviously we do live in our own house now and we have our little garden, but it's not very fulfilling, and it just does. I don't know, I don't have the drive to be out there and do the gardening, whereas I still have my little veg patch at mum and dad's, which hopefully, all being well in my plan and their plan for me, that I'm going to grow my veg and fruit and flowers and everything in that garden again this year. So I need to sit down and plan what I'm going to be planting and growing, and sort of treat that as an allotment, so I get to walk down there and do my gardening at their house, which is lovely. And then obviously I can do my updates and we can renovate that together and do that journey together again, so that'll be exciting. So yeah, that's kind of where we are really. As I say, I had the most wonderful birthing experience and everything, and I watched a lot of, like, positive birthing stories, and read the books and things in the lead up, like the last sort of week before I gave birth. And I don't know whether I'd quite like to share my birth story, because I think if I benefited from other people's, someone could benefit from mine. And I think it's just so important to put out as much out there of the positive and the good that you can experience. So why not share mine? So I might do. Let me know if you think I should. Even if you wouldn't watch it, do you think it's worth me doing it? I might do it anyway. I don't know. But yeah, it was just amazing. Like, and I also, like, I think there was so much. This might not be very relevant to everyone, but there's so much out there and say like preparation wise of drink this and eat this and this will give you a better labour and this will make like all this sort of stuff. I didn't do anything. Like time just flew. Like I never sat down and was really like serious about it to like prepare myself. I just thought, well, I don't know, we'll just see what happens. Like just let nature take its course at the end of the day. So I didn't do any of that preparation stuff, and people say, oh, I did this and I did that and therefore I had, you know, a 10-hour labour or whatever. I think mine was 13 hours and I didn't do any of that preparation, and honestly it couldn't have gone better. Like it was the most smoothest and best experience ever. So it just proves that you don't have to feel pressured to do all this preparation that the like modern world and social media put out there to say that you have to do. So I kind of want to share that as well, to say like don't feel pressured to have to keep up with all these things. Is the only way that you're going to have a good birth and all that sort of stuff. So I might share that anyway, but like I say, let me know if you think I should share it, if you think it's worthwhile, or even if you'd be interested in hearing about it. It's always good to know. So yes, little update from me. That's where we are in the world, that's what's happening, that's where I am now. So I am on maternity leave. I've had a little baby boy with my fiance Daniel, and we're just adjusting to family, motherhood, life now, and all the fun and everything that comes with it. Yeah, I really can't complain, to be honest. Everything is just so wonderful, and life's really good. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this little catch up. Like I said, I might share my birth story next maybe, and then we've got the sort of veg garden renovation series I think I might do, and yeah, whatever else we get up to this year, I'll be documenting it and sharing it and whatnot. And yeah, I hope you follow me along. Also, thank you so much for 500 subscribers. That's really cool. And I've been on YouTube for 5 years, so that means that I've had, on average, roughly, 100 subscribers a year, which is really cool because that's a hell of a lot of people, even if they don't like actively watch every single video. I mean, some videos have got a lot more views than others, depending on the content, naturally. But that's a really cool statistic. So yeah, thank you for sticking around and watching and subscribing if you do. And yeah, I hope you follow me along for this next era that we're going into, and I hope you enjoy the content that I create and put out here and document and whatnot going forward. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please do give it a like because that always helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!